We're down in Fratton in Southsea in Portsmouth. I'm joined by Michael Balingall, who's a manager, trainer and work alongside the Goodwin boxing team to help promote shows down here in Portsmouth. He's the trainer of Floyd Moore, and let's just talk about Floyd, Mike. Obviously his last fight, lost against Dean Mills. First of all, how is Floyd? And after that defeat, and what's the plans for the future?
Like I say, Floyd's. It's not the first time that that's ever happened to Floyd. He's been in some exciting fights. We were hoping it was going to be an exciting fight, but obviously it turned out the way that it did. But like I say, and I keep repeating myself, but he's been in these type of fights before, and he's always managed to bounce back. And from the very beginning, he had a setback at the very first part of his career, and a lot of lads would have probably quit. And if he'd have quit, we wouldn't have been in those memorable fights that he has been in. And so there's a little message out there to all the young fighters out there that get setbacks and things like that. Hang in there and keep on, because you never know what's around the corner. You never know where you're going to be, and you only get one chance in boxing. So just have a go.
That's a fair point actually, because you tend to find, I think personally, we put too much on unbeaten records in boxing, and a loss as soon as someone loses their shot or it's the end of their career. Look, football teams lose games, but they don't become a bad football team overnight, and I think we put too much on it. We see Floyd the next day on his Facebook saying, look, I'm going to bounce back, I'm just going to brush myself off, and it shows obviously the character of the man for sure.
Yeah, well, there's that old saying that records are for DJs and that, and I totally agree. Everyone wants to have this squeaky clean record, and as soon as they get a loss, it's like the end of the world and this, that, and the other. But you can learn a lot of losses and stuff like that, and it goes into experience and things like that as well. So it's not the all and end of having a squeaky clean record.
As this saying goes, you either win or you learn, and it's I think it's the case for Floyd. But even from the base of that, obviously we didn't get the result we wanted, but obviously recently, the last couple of days, we have had some good news for Floyd, and just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, first thing I heard from you guys from the Goodwin Promotions, that there's a chance that Floyd Moore will be fighting on the prize fight at lightweight. The thing is, even though a lot of people might look at him and think he's just come off a loss and stuff, but Floyd isn't one of those people that sits there thinking about what just happened. He is one of those lads that he can just let it go over his head and concentrate on what's in front of him. It's a good thing. If Floyd's over the moon about it. Like I say, he's in the gym, he's training really hard. So we're looking forward to it, and it's a great opportunity for Matchroom's to give us the opportunity, and obviously to yourself and Steve for putting Floyd forward for it. It's a great opportunity, and we're over the moon.
So it's the 6th of December, it's the lightweights prize fight, it's at York Hall. We know that we don't know the full people that's going to be in it, but Floyd's one of those that he's got a chance, and he can bang a bit, and over the 3-round format, anything can happen.
Yeah, obviously he's a fast pace and that. Floyd can punch a bit. You shouldn't be taking Floyd lightly at all, because if they do, they'll end up flat on their face. And but there's some good names in there. And we've got to respect that. So and some of the lads in there that we sort of know pretty well as well. It's going to be very exciting. But you shouldn't take Floyd lightly at all. He's definitely going to cause some upsets on there, definitely.
And coming back to what you said before about obviously hanging in there after a loss. Look, if Floyd had turned around and retired after that last loss, he wouldn't be in the opportunity that he's got now. So
exactly. So it goes to show. Hang in there. It's some of the greatest fighters in the world, like real greatest fighters in the world, have had defeats earlier on in their career. Was
it someone like Johnny Nelson lost his first 3 fights and then went on to be a world champion?
Yeah, Johnny Nelson did. Alexis Arguello, also Bernard Hopkins. There's loads of fighters out there that lost earlier on in their careers and bounced back, and it shows true character, and it shows that they're being real. Be real.
So coming on to, obviously, we've got a show down here, Goodwin Promotions show down in Portsmouth on the 5th of December. Just tell us a little bit about that at the Pyramid Centre. Tell us a bit about that show. Obviously, we've got a lot of your fighters on that, as well as a couple of the ones from we set up in London. Just tell us a little bit about that card.
Yeah, it's getting interesting. Like I say, we had a meeting today and that, and it was all about this show that's coming up. We've got Chris Hobbs is fighting on it. We've got Gary Neal, hopefully fighting for Bronze Masters, which is his very first 8-rounder as well, and very first title fight. We've got some good names on there. We've got Joel McIntyre, he's back in action again. and we got some newcomers, and it's going to be an exciting show. Yeah, definitely.
So your stable down here in Portsmouth is growing. There's more and more fighters attracting to you and come across you, and that's really what you want to build here, isn't it? It's about trying to get more fighters to put on more shows down here in Portsmouth.
Yeah, definitely. Hasn't really been much going on post the last how many sort of like 4 years in Portsmouth. But now it's starting to happen. You've got people winning Southern Area titles now, which is making it realistic. Before, years ago, it was a big rarity to win something such as a Southern Area title. But now people are starting to win titles or getting opportunities to fight for titles as well. And we're actually having pro shows in Portsmouth now as well. So these type of things wouldn't happen years ago. So we're trying to make it happen. I'm trying my best to make it happen. And we'll just continue to do it, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, definitely.
And that's the thing, isn't it? I know our plans over the next few years is to really grow the area down here in Portsmouth and the boxing down here. Just tell us a little bit about your gym you've got here, the fighters you've got here, how people can come along or get in contact with you if they need to.
Yeah, we train 5 days a week. The gym's open 7 days a week. We've got a pro stable in here. At the moment, I've got 6 lads, and also some of the other lads. It's not just Portsmouth; it's the outsides of Portsmouth as well. Like I say, I'm managing lads from over Brighton Way to Guildford sort of area as well. So it just doesn't stay in Portsmouth. It's like the outside as well. So we've got all the facilities down here, and if at the end of the day, if lads out there, people out there want to turn pro, it's better to come down to a gym that's close to you and sort of have a little go, like sort of training wise and that, alongside with the pro fighters and stuff, just to give you a little bit of an idea of where you actually are, and like in the game, and sort of there's no point in sort of turning pro when you haven't been mixing with pro fighters. I don't mean sparring with them, but I mean in general really. Like it's like information. If you've got friends that are in the pro game and they're sort of giving you advice on the things that they do, then you're not going into it green without the knowledge of having the sort of like the schooling, sort of the mental schooling of the aspect of it.
I mean, that's the thing as well. We've seen over the years some fighters that have perhaps been from this area that have turned over and maybe gone to London and then found it's not. I think the thinking is that when they turn over there's lots of money, but the reality is, to start off with, there's not a lot of money in boxing. It's better to stay local to where you are than to travelling halfway around the country. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, I manage my fighters and I train my fighters, so I know where they are, I know what they're doing, like from each day. So and also they know what's going on. If there's something happening, there's a situation that's happened, then I can inform them when they're on their way to the gym, or they'll come round to my house, or something like that. So we're all sort of like close, and the lads all know. It is. I am their trainer, but at the same time, like, we're friends to some sort of thing as well. So sort of they know how it goes, and when they come to me, before they ever do anything, I tell them how this game works and the situation, the ins and outs of it, because it might not be them. I don't want to waste their time, and I don't want them to waste my time neither. So that's why it pays to start off in your own town, and obviously, like, financial wise as well, it helps out as well. So everything works out.
And when it's working arrangement, obviously with the Goodwins and with tying up with you, things like that, if you've got fighters from this area that aspirations to fight on the London show, obviously we can do that. In terms of with this working arrangement, we can move them onto that show to have that.
Yeah, well, this is the reason why I've done it. While we've collaborated together, is because obviously fighters don't want to be like built all the time, just box on the same show all the time in their local town. They want to get the chance to fight over in different towns, and obviously London is a great town, and especially like York Hall, to fighters to say that they've boxed in York Hall, it's got a lot of history there, and obviously why not go with someone that's like got the biggest setup in London? So it makes sense. So obviously now my fighters, if they can do a ticket, they got the opportunity to fight not just in Portsmouth but on these shows in London. And obviously we've got like the collaboration with obviously Goodwin Promotions and Matchrooms as well. So and it's all good stuff for my lads. It's all good stuff for Portsmouth. So
And that's a good thing. Obviously, we got the type with Metro and the Matchroom Fight Pass. We've got our Matchroom Fight Pass on York Hall in December the 13th, and obviously we've got more dates for next year as well. So obviously there's the possibility later on for some of the Portsmouth fighters to come on to the Matchroom Fight Pass show, which gives you an advantage perhaps over some of the other people in the area.
Yeah, definitely. And so, you know, at the end of the day, it's going back to the old thing that when kids turn pro, they're happy to turn pro, but after a couple of years of fighting at home, they start to think to themselves, you know, I want to go somewhere, I want to, you know, give someone at the next level to think about. You know, you can look up and think to yourself, there's a chance that you could be fighting on Sky Sports and that. So, you know, it's good for the lads, and at the end of the day, the lads are the ones that are out there throwing the punches, but also taking the punches. So they're the ones that you've got to look after before anything else. And, you know, it's all in-house here. You know, they all know what's going on. There's nothing behind closed doors. It's all in-house. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the fighters.
Okay, so as we said, we mentioned obviously the 5th of December Portsmouth show. Now, if anyone wants to get in hold of you, Mike, wants to talk over, what's the best way to get? Are you on Facebook? You on Twitter? What's the best way?
If you look for Bally's Gym on Facebook, and also you can contact me on my phone number. So do you want me to give my number?
It's up to you. Depends, you might get some strangers with me.
Well, I don't want any strangers ring. But if you're genuinely interested in it, you know, my phone number is 07939 332 010. Get in touch, or email me at ballysboxinggym@hotmail.co.uk, and I'll get back to you straight away.
So Bally's Ballys, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, Ballys, Bally's Boxing Gym.
So you're on Facebook as well, Bally's Boxing Gym on Facebook. So if anyone wants to get in contact, if you're in the Southampton, Portsmouth surrounding areas and Guildford, if you want to get in contact with Michael and want to be a part of what we're trying to build here down in Portsmouth, then please get in touch. Thanks for joining us today.
Can I just say something? You know, we can all sit here and talk about things and that, but like if you look at what's happened, I'm proving and we're proving that it can actually work. And so we're not just sitting here talking about it, we're actually doing things and we're making things happen. You know, so you know, if you're real and you want to be real, which is like my motto, be real. And you know, if you want to make it happen, then come down and have a chat, and I'll explain to you exactly how it works.
Well, thanks for keeping it real, Mike, for today, and we'll be in contact. 5th of December. Tickets are available from either the Boxers or goodwinpromotions.co.uk. Thanks, Mike.